Yes. And if you want to give Kara... No. Hi, guys, and welcome back. Ooh, let me do this. Matthew Wilder and Hi, guys. Oh, is this crooked? I don't even know. And his music was written and... Hi, guys, and welcome back to Azaria's Place. Today we are talking about Mulan, and I have a lot of thoughts on this new movie. I cannot wait to talk about it. So yeah, it's a Disney week, and we're gonna jump right in. Also, if you are tuning on, you may have already seen lots of articles calling to boycott Mulan, and Disney's getting a lot of backlash for it. However, since I don't have enough information on that, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing or misinterpret things, so I will just link some articles for you below to read for yourself. I think it's important for you to know what's going on, so I will be linking some articles below for you to read about it if you're interested. And it actually doesn't have much to do with the content of the movie, except for really where the movie was filmed. So far is what I know of it. But this is just going to be a criticism and my feedback and thoughts on the film. I also just recently did an origin story, so that's not what this episode's going to be either. I will not be breaking down the original Hua Mulan story or poem, but if you really want to hear that, I actually might do it anyways. Just let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do so. Yeah, we're gonna hop in. Again, strictly a commentary on the film itself, the new 2020 version. So just some background, Mulan actually first premiered in 1998. It actually has a sequel that was released in 2004, and I gotta say, the original is just iconic. Mulan actually was just released on Disney Plus on September 4th. This film was actually not available to stream until December 4th unless you buy Premiere Access for $29.99 through Disney Plus. So I was able to watch it this past Sunday, and I gotta say, I have a lot of thoughts on it. It's just interesting. I know that a lot of people were going into this movie either not knowing that they were cutting Mushu and the music and thought it was going to be how our other remakes have been, pretty similar, if not almost exact copies of the original. And I think this bothered people because it was originally kind of a musical. It didn't really have that many songs when you think about it. I think it's pretty done with singing by Girl Worth Fighting For, I think. There's not much singing in Mulan. It's pretty much done with the singing pretty early on in the film. All the songs are actually on the back of my shirt, including the score. I'll take a picture of it and post it over here so you can see. But so there's actually not that many actual songs in the film. So I understood why people were upset about it, but at the same time, honestly, when Disney announced that they weren't going to be sticking to the original as closely as they have with previous remakes, I was actually probably one of the few people on the planet very happy about it. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I love origin stories, folklore, legends, lore, all that kind of stuff. I think it's super cool. I thought we were getting an amazing original retelling of the Ballad of Mulan. However, it was in the middle of being a remake and original. It was kind of just too in between for me. My biggest issue that I think sticks out to me right now that I had with the film was that they cut out the songs and that did not bother me, but they constantly kept quoting the songs. And that's one of the things. I knew someone that said they actually had never seen the original Mulan, so if you didn't see the original Mulan and you watched this one, you may have missed some references, but I would venture that most people that were excited for the film and that are paying the $30 to see this film are people that have seen the original. But there was the one scene where they're actually just quoting A Girl Worth Fighting For, like verbatim, almost in order, and I was just confused as to why take out the songs then if we're going to constantly keep bringing the lyrics back in. Why not we just sing them? There were, of course, some moments where I was like, this is okay, because he said, I will make men out of you. And I said, okay, we get the reference, but he could have easily said that and it not be a reference. Or he could have said it still without that song existing. However, looking back and re-racking my brain, the Falcon in this film was actually really, really cool. If anybody's familiar with the original, we all know Shan Yu, and he has this Falcon. I think using her again, or using the Falcon in this film, was very smart when I looked back at it and think about it a little bit. However, I think that her character was not fully realized I think, personally. I didn't really feel anything for her when that incident happened, and I'm not going to say anything because you haven't seen the film, but I didn't really feel a lot for her. She is a good mirror to Mulan, but I think that just how she gets to her end didn't really make a lot of sense for me personally, but I thought it was a really clever way to incorporate the Falcon in still, as in having this witch shapeshifter character. I thought it was very cool, but I think it's also when we get this gray area of what actually is the legend and the lore that we're sticking with, and this is just why I got confused. They added so many different things in and different elements, from Mulan's chi to having a little sister instead of a brother, and I don't know. And then there was still that underlying love story with the character that's supposed to be reminiscent of Shang. So, I don't know. I think overall it's definitely my least favorite remake so far, which is really sad to say. Again, they were caught too much in between nostalgia and original. So, for example, the avalanche scene just kind of comes out of nowhere just because it's an iconic scene in the original film, in my opinion. I think that I'm fine with Disney not making original content and making remakes, because I don't think that Disney realizes that no matter who they put in a film, no matter what they do, I, as a Disney lover, will go see it and watch it and support it. And I don't think that Disney's realized that yet, that they don't have to do much to please their audience. But at the same time, I really wanted to be very happy about this, guys. You have no idea how much I fought for this. I have fought for this movie so hard. People would come in at where I work and we'd end up talking about Disney, and people would say they were not excited for it, and I was like, Disney is trying so hard to be culturally aware, at least, and I was like really trying to cut Disney some slack. And then I watched this movie and I was so upset. I mean, the Phoenix is supposed to be, I guess, the Mushu placeholder. I don't know, I just feel like it was all over the place in terms of what it was trying to accomplish. And again, I think that's partially because they were caught between the nostalgia factor and original content. And I think that if they had toned down the nostalgia a little bit, I would have been fine. But again, I just feel like everything was slightly forced. So, like I said, they were quoting lyrics from the song so often. But I thought the underscoring was lovely. I mean, they had Honor to Us All playing as an underscoring when she goes to see the matchmaker. I think they had a cricket crawl on the table during that scene with the matchmaker, and I loved that. That's why I loved the remake of Dumbo so much, because it nodded at the original perfectly, but it was still its original own thing. And I think that Mulan tried to do that same exact thing, where it would nod at the original, but be a newer, fresher take on the story. But I think that the newer, fresher take for this story just was not it. And like I said, guys, I fought really, really hard for this film. And because we played up the role that the Falcon character had a lot more, I just feel like the Shan Yu character in this film was played down a lot. So I just feel like his character paled in comparison and just was unnecessary to the film, but also was necessary just because of the Falcon. I don't know, I think that they just didn't tie the movie together in a cute bow that I wanted it to be in. And of course, I missed some iconic scenes, like her cutting her hair. A question that my friend and I had about the film was, what was the need of her revealing her true self? I know that there are the oaths, I guess, the oaths they take to be brave. Strong, brave, and true was that it? I don't remember. I think it was strong, brave, and true. But she can't be true to herself. And I think it also ties back to reflection in, when will she be able to show who she really is on the inside. So I feel like my argument really is just sounding like they should have put the songs in the movie, but that's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think that they stuck to the themes of the original film, but tried to get away from the original film. And so I just think that they just didn't pick a good through line for the movie. I think this was the most confused remake I've ever watched Disney do. And again, it's because, at least with The Lion King, for example, I felt like they knew the original was a good hit. Like, the original solid. They knew that they didn't really have much to change, and so they didn't change much. And I don't know if that's their exact reasoning, but I felt like with Mulan, again, I think they were trying to be more culturally aware and a little more true to the original story. But again, they couldn't get away from the fact that they produced Mulan in 1998, so therefore we have to put those things in to crowd please, I guess. And I don't know, I think it was risky. It was a risky venture for sure. It was definitely a risky move for Disney, but I do think it just fell a little flat. And so this was also only after one watch, so maybe a second watch or a third watch will change my mind. I think I just wish that it kind of just stuck to one or the other. I think, again, if you're looking for a good mix of the two, I think, again, Dumbo was the perfect embodiment of nostalgia meets original, and I think that Mulan tried to do that, it just didn't. So I recommend giving it a watch if you're curious, but again, it won't be available for release, at least in the US, I believe, until December 4th. Up until that point, I believe you do have to pay the $29.99 to see the film, and that's probably just because this movie actually has been pushed back so many times. It originally was supposed to come out in March of this year, and then it was pushed back to July 24th, and then possibly pushed back to August, and then we got the Disney Plus release in September. So obviously Disney's just trying to make the money that they would have made from theater goers going to see the film. If you're asking my honest opinion, I would say watch it just to have your own opinion, because I've seen so many people comment about how much they loved this film, and that's great. And again, I said I've only watched it once, so maybe I'm just missing the mark. Yeah, those are just my immediate thoughts on the film. Tell me what you thought in the comments below if you've seen it. Tell me if you don't even care about it. I'm really curious. If you forgot, we do get a Disney fun fact of all of our Disney themed videos. So our Disney fun fact for today is going to keep in theme with Mulan. And the fun fact is that Mulan, the original 1998 film that is, actually took 5 years to make. And her horse's name in the film is Khan, if you were curious. So with that, on to the Show Tune Spotlight. So I think I'm just legally obligated to say that the Show Tune Spotlight today is Reflection from Mulan. It's a great song, guys. Lea Salonga has the voice of an angel, so I would go listen to that. Go listen to all the songs from the original. And if you want, give Christina Aguilera's pop rendition a listen as well, and also her new rendition. I think that's super cool, actually, that she first sang the song, I think she was maybe 17 is what I heard or read, when she first sang Reflection for the original album, and to come full circle and sing it again for the 2020 film of Mulan, that's kind of crazy. I mean, how many people get to say they can do that in their lifetime? Honestly, when you're with Disney, you're like with Disney, and I think that's so cool. Like, once you're in, you're just in, you know? So, Disney, let me in. So, Mulan's music and lyrics were written by Matthew Wilder and David Zippel. So go give that a listen. So thank you guys so much for watching, and be kind.